Hello, my name is David Russell, editor of wealthandhonor.com and creator of Financial Caregiver Academy. Thank you for enrolling in my course. And more than likely, you're here because you're already providing some level of care to an aging loved one and realize there's a lot you may not know, but need to know about managing someone else's financial life. Or perhaps your parents are less independent than they once were, and you see yourself having to manage their affairs in the near future. Or maybe you're an aging person yourself, concerned about your adult children's preparedness to manage your financial life as well as you have. Allow me to share a personal story. I've been a practicing certified financial planner for over 35 years. I'm privileged and humbled to be the advisor to several older clients, including the married, divorced, and widowed. Now, all have achieved success in their lives in terms of financial wealth, and all of them have expressed concern about getting older and not being a burden on their kids. So together we've made plans, conducted financial meetings with family, and made sure everything is in place once the inevitable happens, either death or incapacity. And yet, I really didn't know anything about being a financial caregiver. Now, my parents are typical of many of my clients. They were successful through hard work, frugality, and wise investing. My stepfather, who passed away in 2013, had retired in the mid-1980s and became as good as an investor as anyone I've ever known in my professional sphere. He and Mom were married when I was a senior in high school, and I can honestly say that I loved him as a father. Both he and my mother were wonderful companions for one another and were both widowed early in life, so I have no qualms introducing him to you as Dad. Years before he died, Mom noticed some things about Dad that concerned her. He was forgetting a few details about matters that he would have normally known a great deal about. He had what we thought was a mild stroke, even though he didn't suffer any loss of motor skills. And at the time, they lived more than 500 miles away from me and my siblings, and Mom saw the handwriting on the wall. She told Dad it was time to move closer to family. They were both approaching or beyond 80 years old, and they felt it was time to get closer to those who could possibly care for them. So in another astute move, my parents bought a home in a continuing care retirement community just 10 minutes away from my brother and sister and me. It's a wonderful place that provides continual care from independent living to full-scale nursing, home care, and Alzheimer's care. Should either of them need more care, the other could remain in their home and just walking distance from the other units. Now, eventually, Dad did need to move to more skilled care before he passed away. But my point is that in spite of all this preparation, it soon became clear that they were going to need someone to get intimately involved with their finances. Someone was going to have to organize and take over the tax reporting, the bill paying, income tracking, insurance renewals, Medicare supplement choices, prescription drug plans, Social Security check deposits, phone service, internet service, online parts ordering, sale of the unnecessary second vehicle, getting new wills done, making sure powers of attorney were in place, helping with physician choices, etc. Now that someone became me, mainly because some of it's what I do already, and in the years I've been in this role, I've been able to put into practice many of the things that I've advised my own clients to do for years. Which brings me to my point. It's not necessary for you to be a financial advisor in order for you to be a good financial caregiver. Either my brother or my sister would have been equal to the task. What it does take is a right sense of responsibility, a lot of love and support, and a little knowledge. I launched wealthandhonor.com to provide families and the professionals who serve them with resources to better navigate the financial challenges of age transitions. Wealth and Honor provides relevant and up-to-date content on a regular basis through blogs, videos, and podcasts. Financial Caregiver Academy is an online educational resource of wealthandhonor.com that delivers an entire financial caregiving curriculum through an interactive, self-paced learning environment. Through a series of 22 lessons, I'll teach you what you need to know to become an effective and honoring financial caregiver to an aging loved one. You'll work through the course at your own pace. There's no pass or fail, even though I will give you a certificate of completion when you've completed all the lessons in the course. Now, when I created this course, I wanted to accomplish 4 primary goals. Number 1, I wanted to establish a foundation of honor towards our aging family members. Number 2, I wanted to foster better communication between parents, adult children, and siblings. Number 3, we all needed to understand the aging process better and how to work with an older adult. Number 4, I wanted to help facilitate working with a professional advisor team to create a financial plan for older loved ones. These overarching goals are supported by several learning objectives that apply to each lesson in the course. So let's explore the overall content of the course and what you're about to take. Part 1 is about working with older adults. Foundational to working and being an effective and compassionate caregiver is to understand the aging process and some of the unique and wonderful characteristics of older adults. We'll start with the journey of aging and just what it means to be old. Next, we'll talk about the aging brain, memory, and cognition. Our third lesson discusses some of the legal issues surrounding the concepts of capacity, consent, and undue influence. And we'll wrap up Part 1 with a lesson on elder financial abuse and how to prevent it. Part 2 is all about working together as a family, because caregiving should be a family endeavor. Our first lesson deals with how to start the conversation with your parents that they might need help managing their finances. Next, you'll learn about family dynamics in caregiving and avoiding or minimizing conflicts. We'll discuss family caregiver agreements and how to create a family caregiving code of honor. Part 3 is when we get into the details of financial caregiving and a discussion of what I call the 4 Ps of financial caregiving. These 4 Ps are the people, property, programs, and plans that play a part in your parents' financial lives. Each of the 4 Ps is broken down into several lessons. For example, there are 4 lessons dealing with property, where you'll learn about property types, property titling, and what you need to know about your parents' property if you're in a decision-making capacity with them. There are 4 lessons dealing specifically with the various programs, the third P, that may impact your parents or loved one, including Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and veterans benefits. The last series of lessons are the various plans that your parents have or should have that you as the financial caregiver should have knowledge of. There are separate lessons on plans for incapacity, long-term care, for end-of-life decisions, and plans for memorial and funeral services, and lastly, plans for the distribution of their property after their death. Now, this sounds overwhelming, don't worry. Each lesson is only 15 to 20 minutes long and is supplemented by resources that will help you understand and retain it. And as excited as I am about the course content, is the community forum that I think has the most potential to help you in your caregiver journey. One of the biggest stressors of being a caregiver is the feeling of being alone. The community forum allows you to connect with other Academy students who are going through many of the same challenges that you are, and to be a support and resource for one another, and provide access to me outside the confines of these lectures. When you combine the lessons of the course with participation in the community forum, I believe you're going to come away with several key benefits. One is encouragement from knowing that you are not alone in this journey. Number 2, confidence that you and your family can do this. Number 3, knowledge that you now know a whole lot more than you did when you began the lesson. Number 4, compassion, because you understand that growing old is a natural process. Number 5, improved relationships between you, your parents, and your siblings. I'm confident also, so confident that you will come away believing that this was one of the best investments you could have made in yourself, that I provide a money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied with your experience after completing this course, I'll refund 100% of the cost of the course. So now that you've had this introduction, it's time to begin part 1 of our course, Working with Older Adults. Let's start our journey together, shall we?